Well, hello everyone, it's Ernie Molinaro from Compasso, and I'd like to welcome you to the Flow Builder demonstration today, specifically for eBusiness Suite. I am here in Burlington, Massachusetts, and I am at the office at Michael Glick, who's with me today, Senior Director of Development with Oracle. And also another speaker on the call will be Mazen Aurora, and he is really going to give the demonstration and talk a lot about the Flow Builder feature of OATS. So we have a few slides we're going to share with you. Should take no longer than 10 minutes, and the rest of the demonstration or presentation today will be specifically on Flow Builder. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. And Mazen has control of the slides in the demo environment, so I'll be asking him to advance each slide as appropriate. The first slide, just a little housekeeping up to your upper left. At the point, if you have any time during the presentation that you'd like to ask a question, there's a text box for you to do so. Please type in there where I have it circled. And then when we get finished with the demonstration, I will review those questions with both Michael and with Mazen, and we'll address every one of them that's typed in. Also, for privacy reasons, you'll only see yourself logged in. We've got people actually, and thank you for joining, pretty much all over the globe. We've got United States, we've got United Kingdom, we have India, and we have South America all calling in on the call. So everyone, thank you for taking time. At the end of this demonstration, by the end of the week, we'll send you the PowerPoint slide. If you have an interest, certainly reply back and we can schedule a time to do a follow-up. And again, my name is Ernie Molinaro, and I wanted to have something up front. If you have immediate contact, for immediate contact information, my email and phone number are listed for you. Okay, let's go to the next slide, please. Safe Harbor, this is basically as Michael and Mazen talk about feature functions of the product. If you make any forward-making statements, please don't take that into consideration when you're buying the product. They have the sole discretion to change the direction of the product at any given time. So that's just a disclaimer that Oracle always puts up for every demonstration. Next slide. Many of you don't know Compasso, and I'll leave it as we send the PowerPoint out that you can read through all the details. At the end of the day, we've invested and been part of the product, invested quite a bit of time and been part of the product for a number of years. So we kind of hold ourselves as sort of the global expert within OATS. We have the most amount of deployments with this product, and we can help in any area in terms of the pre-sale demonstrations to strategies to once you buy the product to jumpstart programs. We can help create entire portfolio of the scripts, and we also can maintain and execute the script. So that's just a little background about Compasso and who we are. Next slide, please. Okay, in the landscape of the OATS product, specifically what you're going to hear today is Flow Builder. What we wanted to show you is the entire suite of quality management tools. So every box represents a product that you can purchase from Oracle. The blue boxes really represent the OATS product, and specifically within the functional testing of the OATS product is this feature called Flow Builder. So again, that's what we're going to focus on today, and we just wanted to show you the landscape of all the various products that you can purchase from Oracle to make it part of your quality management suite of tools. Next slide, please. Okay, with that, I'm going to turn the presentation over to Michael Glick, and he can walk through the next few slides.
Hello, everybody. So Oracle Application Testing Suite of products, also known as OATS, is a comprehensive and complete testing solutions for QA testing, QA automation, and application monitoring. It includes Oracle Functional Testing for web applications, which controls any major browser to record and playback actions on HTML page components. Oracle Load Testing for web applications, which recreates HTTP traffic to measure application under load, simulating hundreds of thousands of virtual users. And Oracle Test Manager, enabling QA engineering teams of any size to manage the whole testing process, starting with requirements, scheduling and conducting tests, and finishing with bug tracking. OATS works with any web applications and web services, but being part of Oracle gives us a unique ability to work with Oracle products and Oracle technology stack. OFT can be sold and used as a standalone or with different accelerators. Accelerators are developed for every Oracle technology and make scripts more readable and durable. When we generate a script, the content of pages are described not from the browser point of view, but from a human. The modern web applications are built with very dynamic pages, consisting from a large number of basic components, such as image maps with a lot of JavaScript and Ajax calls. We represent these image maps and other basic components in our scripts with what they really represent to users, things like trees and tables, menus and action buttons. So when QA engineer reads the recorded script, he or she will see what a tree subnode of a spreadsheet was expanded, not some image was clicked or some dialogue appeared. When QA engineer wants to verify functionality and content, he or she is not just verifying existence of a component, but works with what these components mean to the user. For example, they can verify that expense report columns in a table add up correctly in a summary below. Martha, next slide, please. So OpenScript of Oats is a platform capable to generate all sorts of scripts, load and functional, capable to play and therefore verify the functionality of your applications in any modern browsers. This way, you may not need to develop a script for each browser, saving a lot of time and effort. No matter if you purchase Oracle functional testing for web applications, Oracle load testing for web applications, or now Oracle Flow Builder, you will always get OpenScript platform. You should also buy the right accelerators for the technology applications or applications are written on. With the introduction of Flow Builder, Mazel will tell us more, Oats provides a different way to represent individual scripts in the whole testing process. In difference with traditional record and playback approach of Oracle functional testing products, Oracle Flow Builder allows testing developers to start even before your application's UI is ready. Once components are built, developers of your application start building pages, and QA engineers can now start building testing scripts by forecasting the right flows based on the same design documents developers are using. As there is no coding requirements, business analysts without coding skills, but with deep knowledge of the application under test can be very productive. Oracle Flow Builder supports Telnet as well as web applications and web services. It was created and now still being developed by Oracle EBS QA teams in collaboration with Oats development team. So before it gets into your hands, it has already passed through a lot of usage by internal teams at Oracle. Next slide. So this slide speaks a little bit about solutions we have here at Oracle. So buying a testing solution from Oracle makes a lot of sense, especially if you plan to test applications either made by Oracle or based on Oracle technology stack. Many of the products are co-developed by Oracle QA teams themselves. All accelerators are based by a large number of Oracle QA teams. Testing is done on massive internal clouds, and many teams develop a large number of scripts, counted in millions, used sometimes by more than 1,000 team members. Your own teams should be able to start quickly and save a lot of time, because you will be relying on the experience of thousands of users before you for every new release coming to you with more and more functionality. So at that, Mazel, is all yours.
Thank you, Michael. So hello, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Before I continue, I just want to reiterate what Michael was saying. So when you get the functional testing suite, you basically get OpenScript, which is what you see up here, the traditional record and play, but also Flow Builder. So I would like to pause a little bit to tell you about Flow Builder. What is Flow Builder? Flow Builder basically is a component-based testing framework. It helps you create or automate your test scripts. If you have test script to automate it, you can either record and play, which is the top part that you see here on the screen, or you can use the components. Components, basically, what is a component? Component is when you capture a small granular level region of your application take snapshot out of it and save it in this tool. So let's say you have the purchase order or sales order, forms, page, any small region. You can take the purchase order header, capture that, save it in this tool. The purchase order line, capture it, save it in the tool. So when you have all these small regions saved in your tool, when you want to go to create your test script, all what you need to do is just drag and drop these little components. You don't need to go back to the application. You don't need to record anything in the application. You already have a perfect snapshot of these smaller regions at granular level. So you can just drag them and drop them and you're good. Why is it beneficial? Why does it add a lot of value to use Flow Builder? A few things. Number one, maintenance. We all know with automated scripts, a small change might cause you to break your automation, and you're always back to square one. You have 1,000+ scripts recorded, a change in the application occurs. Sometimes it's on a UI level, transactional level. Sometimes it's on a technology stack level. It doesn't matter where. And we often find that our automated scripts break. So for the traditional record and play, if it breaks, you have to go back, open each one of those scripts individually, fix them, or sometimes you have to throw them all out and start new ones. With the components-based approach, which is Flow Builder, if a change happened on a specific page or form or any specific area of the application, you just go to that one component, you update it to have it reflect the change, and then all your scripts stay intact. Basically, you do not need to recreate them. So that really means lower cost of ownership of the product itself. So if you have procurement, you have it all automated, a change happens, you update it real quick, you automated script, your automations are back up and you can run them again. No need to recreate the whole thing. Also for customization, how does it support customization? Well, because every little piece is turned into a component, let's say the purchase order is customized on your end, the customer's end, and it's different. You have more fields, lesser fields, so something in between. What you do, you either create a component for it, or you take the component, the purchase order component itself, you open it, and it really opens up easy, just like Excel spreadsheet, and I'm sure everybody is familiar with Excel. You open it like Excel. It has rows listed one by one. You add fields, remove fields, save it back in the tool, and that is your customization. It already is. So basically, your components will already reflect your customization. And last point I want to bring up here, we wanted to make sure that your automation tool does not need a genius developer to use. It should be really easy. It should be UI based. Anyone should be able to use it. Drag and drop. Functional users and technical users equally should be able to create automated scripts. We have thousands and thousands of scripts here at Oracle that have been created only by functional users, and they are working fine. We run them with every release. And the icing on the cake, this is an Oracle tool. Before we release any patch or any upgrade, we ourselves internally we run this tool on the product to make sure it works. So when you get your upgrade or when you get your release, you already know that your automation tool supports that upgrade. So there is no automation tool is not going to break, and it doesn't have to log a bug with the automation tool creator. It's already Oracle. We already have that taken care of for you. So it's a win-win situation. So now let's see. Moving on. So with that, with the automation tool, with the Flow Builder, you also get the starter pack. I was talking about the components that cover these the different areas of the applications. So that comes along with the functional testing suite. So you get what's called starter pack. That's included in the functional testing suite. It supports both 12.1.3 and 12.2. Basically, it has over 3,600 components, and it already has over 230 flows. So all what you need to do is just add your data and let it rip, assuming you have generic flows. If your flows are, like I said, if you have customizations, you can update your components and still the flows would work because the flows would look at the latest set of the components. Now, the starter pack covers the products across eBusiness Suite, as you can see. It covers mainly certification flows, end-to-end flows, key business scenarios, make sure that your product is not dead out of the box, basically. So this is a starter pack. And that's included in the functional testing suite, but you can also procure an advanced pack that you can get that as an addition to the functional testing suite. Advanced pack, as you see here, it covers 10 product families across e-business suite. But the difference between the advanced pack and the starter pack was certification flows, end-to-end key business flows. Over here in advanced pack, we have, it focuses more on complex scenarios, deep dives. Instead of just making sure, for example, that you can create a requisition, purchase order, invoice, receiving, you can, here you have more complex, deeper details. You can do return material, RTV, all this stuff, it's all automated in advanced pack. So it looks at more, like I said, more complex scenarios. And that also covers 12.1 and 12.2. Also, as part of the advanced pack, we include support for web services, open interfaces, and APIs. So just 1 second here I want to spend on web services and APIs and open interfaces, by the way. That's also included. I know most of you know what that is, but for those that don't, basically it's a stored procedure that enables you to insert and update data. So if you want to create 500, 6,000 items or purchase orders at the same time, you don't want to go enter those one by one. Basically, you use the open interface to create those. So that has been automated for mass updates or uploads, and that is included as part of the advanced script. So we have 875 components to support your APIs, web services, and open interfaces, and also 48 flows. And to give you an example on I think it's great. And by the way, now it also supports 12.1 and 12.2. So you see over here on the screen, it says 12.1.3. It actually supports both 12.1 and 12.1.3 and 12.2. So to give you an idea on how much faster it is, for I'll just give you an example here. For a product like project management, to create a project, it takes an hour to an hour and a half using the UI mode. Versus if you use the API, the automated script, it takes 26 seconds just to execute it. You enter the data in the Excel spreadsheet and you run it, and that's how fast it is. And then I have another example there. So without any delays, let's go ahead and go to the demo itself. Let me open a demo here. Okay, so if you remember, I was mentioning earlier that we are trying to rely on the ease of use, a UI that is easy on the eye, and functional users can also create automated test scripts. So we log in here first, just a regular username and password. I'll log in as an administrator, put in my password, go in. It first gets you into the homepage. Homepage, it might look overwhelming when you take a quick look at it, like, what is this? It's basically for the admin of the tools to add users, to give them responsibilities, who can create components, who can approve components, because anybody can create a component in a system, but you do not want to have a huge pile of repository that's full of components. You want to make sure that those components are reviewed and approved by the expert on your team before they can be used to create flows. So this is just the home page. Let's go to the components link on the top. And this is, I just want to show you here where the components reside. Under the component link, every component should reside under the product where it belongs. So let's say I want to look for the purchase order header component. I will go to the iProcurement product, purchasing, forms BPA, blanket purchase agreement, and then you see it right there, create PO header. Or I can just, in the box, I can add the name, or if I don't know it, I can use wildcard, like %, and hit search, it'll show it to me. Now, this is just to search for the component, if you want to look at it or open it or something. But once your component is created and once we know it's reviewed and approved and it works fine, you really, what you want to do is you want to create a flow. So up on the top, we click on the flow link. And the flow I'm going to create now, to show, that I'm going to demo, basically it's two responsibilities. One person logs in, shops for an item, add it to cart, which would create a requisition, submit that requisition, and log out. Then the approver, could be the manager or anyone else, would log into the system, query that requisition, auto-create it to a purchase order, modify some information on the purchase order, approve the purchase order, and log out. So this would be two different scenarios, and I think that's a good way to show how the tool works. So since it's a procurement flow, I'll go ahead and go to procurement, purchasing, and then I'll go to the iProcurement product. And because we want it to be easy, what we do, you right-click on the product, you get shortcut menu. In that shortcut menu, we select the second item where it says create a flow. You create flow on the right side, you just enter the label for the flow, like the flow name, and then the flow type. Flow type, it can be anything. This is customized. It can be certification flow, high priority flow, low priority flow, whatever you want to call it. You can customize that list. We'll do certification flow here. And then for tags, you can enter any keywords that you want others to find to search for when they look for this specific flow. And then we do the description and create structure. When you click on that button, create structure, all it does here on the right side, it only creates the structure for your automated flow that's going to be, but there is no components in it, no data, just a name. And it always creates one single scenario underneath it. The tool assumes that you only have one scenario. So they create one scenario underneath it with the same name as the flow. And because I'm doing two scenarios here, creating an acquisition and then auto-creating it second time, just for housekeeping purposes, I'm going to update the scenario. So I click on the little arrow. So the first scenario, I'll do update the name of the scenario and make it just a nice, clean create acquisition and hit yes. And then I'm going to create in the same tree another scenario, add scenario below from the right click shortcut menu and call it auto create requisition to a purchase order. Like I said, this is just nice. This is like a good practice. When you want to do automation, you don't want just a whole lump sum of code dumped in there. You want to make it look nice so other people, everybody can see what you're doing and they can read it easily in English per se. When you look at it here, you know exactly what I'm going to do. So now let's go ahead and drag and drop those components. As you can see over here, this is where the approved components show up. This is our approved components library. And it contains, here, let me click on it. So it contains different library. It depends on how you do yours. It has generic library, and the generic library would have the components that do not belong to a specific product, like login into the application, exit in the application, navigation within any application. Those are really common across all applications, and they are generic. They don't belong specifically to a product. So we keep them all in a generic library. And then because we're Oracle and we test 12.1 and 12.2, we have a 12.1 library and 12.2 library. And the first component I want to drag and drop here is called, under the generic library, under OAT, it's called prompt URL. Prompt URL, basically, you want your automated script to be generic enough to run on every environment. You do not want to hard code the environment name in there. So next time you want to run it, if the name of the environment changes by one alphabet or one underscore, everything breaks. Basically, this is safe. We keep it safe. We have the prompt URL so it can ask you which environment do you want to run in. So let's drag and drop this in. So after the prompt in for URL, you want to log into the application. So we just drag and drop login OAF. That's another component. And then we navigate to go to the shopping cart. So we did the navigation. Now we're done with the generic library. We want to go to shop for an item and add it to the shopping cart. I don't know where that component is. So as you can see, I will add up here, add %, item %, cart %. So I'm using wildcard. So it'll find it for me. I'll hit search, and what it'll do, it'll highlight all possibilities in the library for you. I know which one I need, so I drag it and drop it, add item to cart. And then from there on, your flow continues. So click cart to view cart once you add the item to cart. We want to click the cart to view or view cart. And then we want to go to the shopping cart page. Like I said, I don't know exactly where they are. I just drag them and drop them from there. So now I'm on the shopping cart page. I want to submit my requisition. So I just, like I said, you can feel free to use wildcard, %sign. It'll give you all the possibilities. Now I have submitted the requisition. I go back to my generic library and I log out. So we are done with the first scenario in our flow. Now the approver comes in and they log in back into OAF and they navigate. You remember, they want to query your requisition. So they go back into the product and they navigate to the auto-create search component where it can search, where it's the auto-create form that searches for those requisitions. So we drag that. And then once it finds it, you grab the select it. So you want to select it. Basically, you would have a manual test script in your hand, and you just follow it line by just drag it and drop in those components that go hand in hand with your manual script. And then, as you can see, we did the create auto standard purchase order, SPO. And we went into the PO header. We did some updates in there. And finally, we approve the PO. And now back to the generic library. What we'll do, we will close all forms so our next script can start clean and fresh, and we exit the application. Now, by doing that, we have created what takes a day and a half to automate. We did it in literally 15 minutes, as you can see. So we only have the structure. We do not have the data. So this is great, good. We have the components dragged and dropped. How do we enter data? To enter data, as you can see, you have your components here lined up. What we'll do, we'll go up on the top where the name of the flow is. We right-click, shortcut menu, and that will give us an Excel spreadsheet that's customized specifically for this flow. It will have the same list of components that we dragged and dropped will show up in this customized Excel spreadsheet. And of course, those Excel spreadsheets will be coming out per the flow. So each flow will have its own Excel spreadsheet because it will have its own line up to go with the flow. So you get everything here, and as you can see, whatever you enter in the application, you'll enter here data-wise. So this is the Excel spreadsheet. You have these fields. Well, so for login, we enter our username and password. And no surprise here, it's operations, welcome. And of course, I'm not going to let you sit down or watch me enter in all the data. We'll just do the microwave, and all the data is entered. As you can see, we have the item, F1000, F11000. We have for checkout or for submit. These are all drop down. So if you want to submit, if you want to click on submit, you just select the drop down and select true or false. True means click on submit. So really everything is laid out for you and all per component, because each component here will have all the fields and all the buttons on that component will show up here. You enter your data. And of course, in the first scenario, when you create a requisition, that is a variable, and that goes into the second scenario in this flow. So to query it, when you go to the auto create, this is also a drop-down list. So if you have 10 requisitions created in the first scenario, from the drop-down list, you will see Rec 1, Rec 2, Rec 3. These are all variables that you can carry over and over from one scenario to another in the same flow. So you can select the correct requisition, the correct variable that you want to auto-create into a PO. And we're done with entering data. What you do, you save it, you upload it back up. And by doing that, you will have a flow that is, here, let me see. Okay, by doing that, you will have a flow that has data in it already. And once you have your flow and you have all your data, one more thing I want to show you here, where on the name of the flow itself, you can right-click and download a test plan, as you can see, a test plan for the flow that you have just created. So the flow that we just created, we can get a test plan in a Word document or HTML. So let me show you what that test plan looks like. And I think this is great for audit purposes, for reviews purposes. So if, let's say, Compasso automates your script for you, once they're done, they can show you every automated script in a test plan also, so you know exactly what's being automated. It'll show you when it was created, who created it, and so on. Also, it has document controls for reviews and approval. If somebody wants to review somebody else's work for automation, you can add that to the Word document. And it'll have an outline. So if I had 10 scenarios, the outline will show 10 scenarios here. It only shows 2. And also, it will have detailed description of the navigation path, step by step, along with data on how everything is done. So this is a complete full-fledged test plan that goes with your automated flow. So now we have a flow with automation and data. So let's go back. So let me go back one. So what do we need to do now? I want to execute it. I want to run it to see what it looks like. So first, now it's created with data. Let's go ahead and save it. So I right click on the left side on the name of the flow. I right click and I just do generated. So generating the flow will save it. You put down the location on where you want it to be saved. You put down normal weight, page weight. These are all like forced weights if you know your environment is slow. It's saved in a zip file. You can save that in that zip file in any location you want. And once it's saved, you close it. You close Flow Builder. You have created your flow. So to run it, we go to the player part of the tool, which is called OpenScript. This is the record and play tool. We open OpenScript. We just do File Open. We select our flow that we just saved, and we hit the play button that you see on the top, or the play icon right there. Yes, we click on that. That would start our script. It will launch the browser. And you remember the first component was prompt URL. So we enter the URL for that environment, and any place where any field where there's a focus where we are doing transaction, it'll be highlighted in red or pink, whatever your monitor shows. But you know exactly what it's doing. We enter the item there. In the shopping cart, hit go. So whatever components we dragged and dropped, we see it during the execution here. And now we're done. We hit submit. So this is the shopping cart. We hit submit, and you see the requisition generated 14404. That's the requisition number. So we sign out, and then the manager or the approver log in, and then they want to go to the auto create. It's still running. That's good. They go to the auto create form, which will spawn the form server here. It'll open up the form server. It'll go into the auto create form to query that requisition. So we enter the requisition number there. We hit find. It finds, and then we select it just as per the components we dragged and dropped. And now we auto created. We create the purchase order out of it, the standard purchase order. So it's coming up. There it is. So we change the supplier and the site, and we hit approve. We just approve that purchase order, and the status should change from incomplete to approved, and it's approved. So now we're done. Our test is done. We close the forms and exit the application. So we have created and executed our automated test script, and let's exit the whole thing. So now back to our player. How do I know the result of what I'm doing? So we come down here. The report will be created in a couple of seconds. It's running the script still. It's creating the report for you, and the report will show up in the upper right region where it says results report. So let's make that a little bit large and see what's happened there. So there you have every single step that we did shows up there. It gives you the overall, whether it's the whole script passed or failed. If any small transaction or whatever that's unexpected happened and it breaks, the overall result would be failed, and it'll show you here, like for example, pass, 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 and then it'll take you fail to where it failed, where you can click on the plus and it'll give you exactly what the problem was and what failed. So you go and correct it. Also, the report is capable of giving you more information than just the overall results. You can get screenshots if you want. As you can see here, I see a screenshot there. You can click on it, and it will show you like the shopping cart that we were looking at. That's also part of the report. So here, let me go back to presenter mode. So let's see, one last point I want to say. Also, you can do verification. If you enter data or if you're expecting specific data to be coming out of a tool or on a form or a page, you can do verify, and the report will tell you expected, for example, status of the purchase order. You want to make sure it says approved. So you can have that verified. You can flag that as verify. In the report itself, it'll give you expected result was approved. Actual result is still approved. It'll show you with both results, and it'll mark it as green pass. With that, any questions?
Yes, we have several. Yes, we have several.
Right.
Okay. First question is, what's a typical use case for Flow Builder, and also what are some other ways to use Flow Builder? Could you comment on that?
Absolutely. That's a very good question. Thank you. This is one point I wanted to talk about, but I totally forgot. So I'm glad somebody asked this question. So a typical use, I mean, here at Oracle, EBS QA team in development, we are only using Flow Builder. So we are using it for our end-to-end flows, for our complex scenarios all across eBusiness Suite. Even we have components for Telnet. So like in warehouse management, you have to use the Telnet. We have a component for Telnet. So basically all your business scenarios in eBusiness Suite, I would definitely recommend you to use Flow Builder. Also other uses, I know from other customers that have showed a lot of success, and they were very happy that they're not only using Flow Builder for testing, they're also using it to automate their work. I always say it's 2017. We have self-driving cars on the road, so hopefully any repetitive job that you do, any repetitive work, your end of the month activities that you have to do every single month, those are not testing, those are your monthly activities. Go ahead and automate them. Anything that's repeatable, automate it, I would say. So like I said, end of the month activities will be a great example. Use Flow Builder, automate those, so when it's end of the month, you don't have to tell everyone, don't talk to me, lock your door, and spend 3 days on them. Just hit the button and watch the recording. I mean, watch Flow Builder running what you need to run, automate your job for you. I hope that answers the question.
Thanks, Mazen. Next question is, and I think you've answered most of this, but I'll ask it anyway since it was posted. Okay. Is it possible for the script to read the input information, et cetera, URL, login details, et cetera, from an Excel spreadsheet? I know you covered that, but anything addition you want to add to that?
Okay, so definitely. So the Excel spreadsheet here that we downloaded from Flow Builder, it's customized specific for that flow. You download it, you enter data, you push it back up. But sometimes the question comes up, what if I want to have an Excel spreadsheet with like a data bank with multiple rows of data? If you really want to go extreme with multiple rows, I mean, first I would question why would anybody wants to do, are you doing volume testing disguised as functional testing? But there's also the open script part, the record and play that Michael talked about, where you can have it read out of a data bank, out of an Excel spreadsheet, and it can read hundreds of rows for you. But you can do both.
Okay, thanks. Next question is, how can Flow Builder handle customizations to the application?
Absolutely. I like you said, I already talked about that. So, for example, like I said, the purchase order component, if you open the component itself, it looks just like that Excel spreadsheet. It will have rows of all these fields listed one by one. So if your purchase order is totally different at your company, you go to the repository that you get with the functional testing suite. Because first, really, when you get that repository, you need to do mapping one-to-one, make sure really what you get goes with what you have. And if you have customization on a specific form or page, you open that component, and it opens just like Excel. You can delete rows, add rows, basically update it to reflect your customization, and you save it. It's a one-time task, only one time when you first get the product. Once that is saved, you have that component in your repository, and it always reflects your customization, and it's one component for everyone to see and use for their flows.
Okay, great. Next question is, how long has the Oracle EBS group been using Flow Builder?
Excellent question. When I first started doing these demos, I used to say we started 6 months ago, and now it's over 6 years ago, actually. So it's been there for a while, and we have a big repository of customers that are using it and are in love with it for their automation. So it's been a long time, and we have tens of thousands of scripts that have been created. And also, we only use Flow Builder for every patch that comes out. All the rubs that you guys see, the upgrades, new releases, that's all tested using Flow Builder.
All right. Next question is, can you use Flow Builder outside of EBS?
It's doable. I mean, we give you a repository only for EBS, but I don't know if Michael can answer that more than me. But I know, for example, in utilities, they loved Flow Builder, but we only provided them components for eBusiness Suite. So they went ahead and created a huge repository for Oracle Utility. It's one of our GBUs, and I think they've seen a great success with that. And you know that also, Ernie, correct?
Yes. Michael, would you like to comment? Any additional comments on that?
We have health services, GBU, and others who took Flow Builder, and especially not only for testing, but also for the automation of their flows, which they do in the normal activity line. They use it. With EBS, though, what you get is a lot of components already defined. So that's very, very convenient. So you don't have to start from zero. With others, if you have other applications, you may approach me directly, and if we have groups here at Oracle or customers who will be willing to share, we'll be happy to share it with you.
Okay. So in summary, the groups that have actually built out components for Flow Builder are, 1, the EBS group, 2, the utilities group for the utility software, and 3, the health sciences group. All the software development groups within Oracle have QA teams. All QA teams utilize the OATS product. And then some of those groups are now migrating to build out components, as I've described, for Flow Builder. Next question up is, can you explain in detail what actually is free with Flow Builder? So let me go at that first, and then Michael or Mazen, you can comment. So for the licensing of Flow Builder, it really comes back to you purchase a product called Oracle Functional Testing for Oracle applications, and within that SKU that you purchase, within that product that you purchase, you get the feature of Flow Builder for free. You don't add any additional cost to get Flow Builder for free. So what happens at that point is that each of the discipline areas that we've described, and that is EBS, utilities, and soon to come, I guess, health sciences, we'll see where that comes out in the pricing. For EBS, you specifically get an advanced starter pack, which comes for free, which Mazen highlighted. And then if you want additional detailed scripts, you can also get those, and those are for purchase. Mazen, Michael, any additional comments on what I just described?
You nailed it. You basically get the traditional record and play with advanced scripting, which is what I'm flashing right now on a monitor for you guys. You get the Flow Builder framework to automate the test scripts. You also get the starter pack that I mentioned, and you get the starter pack that is included. So definitely this is included as part of the functional testing suite. Absolutely.
Okay. Closing comments, Michael, anything you'd like to add as we close out the demonstration today?
I think people need to try it. And once they try it and have real experience with it, they could do the comparison, what they really need, how they will use it with their organizations. And if they have any problems, they should get back to us, and we'll hopefully be able to help them.
Okay. Mazen, any comments?
Absolutely. I think there's a 30-day free trial period where I've seen many customers would try it and then they fall in love with it. And for me, I've been doing testing, whether it's manual or automated, for 20 years plus. This is really one of my favorite tools, and I had the opportunity to look at tools across the industry to see what else we can use for automation. And this is, for me, this is a winner. No other testing tools would support your product before the new release comes out. I think this is a huge advantage to the functional testing suite.
Okay. And I'd like to add just one or two closing comments. The OATS product that supports FlowBuilder has been in existence for 12 or 13 years now. It was purchased by Oracle about 10 years ago. And Oracle has continued to invest in the product. Every development group within Oracle uses OATS, as well as there's hundreds and maybe even thousands of customers that use the product today. So moving forward, we will send you the PowerPoint slide. Certainly, as Michael and I think Mazen have indicated, to try the product out, we can also support a free POC period of time, and happy to show the software for you in its entirety of OATS, and also highlight more FlowBuilder feature functions if you have additional requirements there. And so just reply to us on the email that you'll receive at the end of the week, and we'll be happy to work with you. So with that, I'd like to thank everyone for attending the demonstration today. Thank you for taking time, and we look forward to working with you. And that concludes today's demonstration. Thank you.